Evening guys again, so we are cooking tonight's dinner, which is going to be a prawn curry. You could do chicken curry, we're doing a prawn curry, and look at the size of these prawns from Aldi. Absolutely beautiful. So I've defrosted my prawns, I've seasoned them salt, pepper and paprika. I've washed my rice, give your rice a little bit of a rinse in the sieve, clean it all off and then get that on because the rice will probably take a little bit of time. Ingredients, we're going to use onion, chilli, garlic, tomato puree, we've got ground ginger, curry powder, garam masala, tin chopped tomatoes, a little bit of honey and oil. And just for an extra bit of bulking up, I'm going to be using some chestnut mushrooms just because I love the mushrooms. Okay, so first thing that I've got on, I've got my rice on, that'll probably take the longest. And next thing that I'm going to do, get your pan nice and warm. Okay, bit of oil in there and heat that up nicely because remember we want that noise when we put the onion in. Okay, you've got your tea towel on, knife and sharp. Okay, so we're going to start by chopping up our onion. Now depending on how you like your onion, if you like it thin, if you like it thick, just do what you like best guys and just enjoy your dishes. So I'm going to chop this quite small this time, just because this is going to make the base of the flavour. So I'm not really going for that thickness that I liked in the spicy sausage rice. I'm going for a little bit thinner. So my first port of call is to fry the onion, and then we're going to cut our chilli if you want a chilli. If you don't like spicy foods, don't add your chilli, it should be nice enough without it. Okay, hopefully the pan's nice and warm now. So first thing to go in is my white onion. Okay, there we go, there's that sound, yeah? Okay, I'm going to start. I've peeled a couple of garlic cloves, so we don't mind a bit of garlic. And I'm going to put that in a little garlic crusher. If you haven't got the garlic crusher, don't worry, just chop it nice and finely, or even thickly, it will cook down, so don't worry. Okay, I'm going to put garlic in with the white onion, okay, get that in there as well and get mixing them flavours together. So that's garlic in, white onion in. Now I'm going to mix these up slightly just so they get a bit of a fair share of the heat. So while they're browning off now, we are going to be cutting our chilli. Like I say, the chilli that I've got from Aldi isn't that hot actually, it's quite large. So I might even try the whole chilli tonight. We used half the chilli in our spicy sausage rice and it was fine. So I might try the whole one. It's quite big, usually when they're big it means they're not as strong. So here we go. Let's cut this bad boy. And what I'll probably do is cut it into circles and then cut it in half again, just so we haven't got loads of chunks of chilli if it is a bit hot. Okay, so that's a decent amount of your chilli. Like I say guys, it is your dish, so I'll make it how you like it. This is just what I do, and it's a bit of trial and error. If it's too hot with this much, I definitely won't do it again, and I'll try and get the majority of the seeds out of the way. Okay, so I'll let them onions cook a little bit longer. So the rice, we've done 2 parts water to 1 part rice. Okay, and that's what we're going for. That's coming along nicely now. So we'll add these chilies now. Okay, so we'll get them cooking, them all in. Hopefully doesn't mind that spice there. Okay, this can go in the bin. So chilies are in, white onions are in. Next thing that we're going to put in, we're going to put some ground ginger in there. Okay, so we'll add a good teaspoon ground ginger, or if you've got fresh ginger you can use that. Next one, I'm going to put my curry powder in. So this is just normal curry powder, a little bit of powder. I'll probably put 2 teaspoons of that in, and a bit of turmeric. Turmeric, good for your joints, yeah. Okay, and the next ingredient was a little bit of garam masala. If you've got some garam masala, add that in and put more curry powder in instead of the garam masala this time. So I'm just going to mix all that in now. So we've got garam masala or curry powder, turmeric, ginger, onion, garlic, all blending nicely in together there. Okay, so that's looking good. Now, if you had a food blender, you could blend all this together so it's a paste. We're just going to keep it thick for today. The next thing that I'm going to put in is some tomato puree. Okay. Now I'm going to make a little circle in the middle, and I'm just going to pop the puree smack bang in the middle. Just let that cook for a little second. The puree just takes a bit of the bitterness away from it. So tomato puree's in the middle of the pan, just like that, and then we're just going to mix that around as it cooks. So tomato puree's in, garlic in, onions are in, chilli is in, and we're just mixing that around nicely now. Try and get all that covered in that tomato puree. Okay, we'll leave that cooking a little bit longer. Next ingredient. Chunky chopped tomatoes. These dishes should be so easy for you to do at home, guys, and enjoyable. So, chunky chopped tomatoes in the go. There's that sound again, yeah? Pan nice and hot. Everything's searing straight away. So we're going to mix that up a little bit now. Oh, look at that. It smells absolutely beautiful. So we're going to let that simmer away for a few minutes now. Like I say, you could use chicken, could use prawn, you could use fish. Whatever you like, guys, make that dish your own. Okay, so we'll let that simmer for a few minutes. Rice, keep your eye on the rice. The wholemeal rice takes a bit longer than the long grain rice to cook. It's always worth just giving it a little stir, giving it a little check. You can just cover that over towards the end. So once a lot of that water has reduced down, I'll cover that over and just let it steam away. And then this just be covered and get the prawns covered in all that flavour. So we are looking fantastic with this. Now I like mushrooms, so I will add prawns and mushrooms to this. And we'll have a prawn and mushroom curry. Depending on the size of the mushrooms, if they're large, cut them in half. If they're not too big, leave them in there. That one I'd leave in there. Probably the same size as them big prawns from Aldi. Oh, we won't use that one. Now we have put 2 packs of prawns in. I've got the raw peeled Argentinian red string from Aldi, they're the big ones, and then I've just got some normal sized frozen prawns that are in the bag, that are the cooked jumbo peeled ones. So I've got red Argentinian large and the cooked shrimp ones. And I just took them out earlier on today, let them defrost. Now tip is let them dry, make sure they're dry out, and then when they're dry I'll put some paprika and salt and pepper on there. Now this paste sauce is coming on nicely. So most of that moisture's gone now out of the chopped tomatoes. So now what I'm going to do is add a little bit of sweetness to that. So we're going to add a little bit of honey. Okay, teaspoon of honey goes in there. That just adds that extra bit of flavour in. Mix that in. You could put brown sugar in, you could put white sugar in. Just add that little bit of extra flavour for it. That's good. I hope you're getting on alright with this and I'm staying up to date with us. So, now that's nice, I feel like I can put my shrimp and my mushrooms in. So, I'm going to individually take these prawns off here. Okay. Get the big ones in first, if you are using 2 packs like me, just because they'll take that little bit longer to cook. I say they're all nice and dry and nice and seasoned and defrosted. Make sure they're defrosted Don't want anyone food poisoned. Okay, drop all them in. So we'd rather stock up, to be fair, on the protein source. Usually if you have a curry you might stock up with loads more rice or some naan breads or anything else, but us stocking up with a protein source, and then we never ever kind of full, not full from our curry and needing something else to bulk us up. So that's all my prawns in now. I'm going to turn that heat down and I'm just going to stir all that in together. So we've got all the prawns in. Make sure they get all covered by that sauce. Okay, and they will just cook nicely in there. Okay, I'm going to put my chopped mushrooms in there now. Okay, and they will cook. They'll just reduce down. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, cover them over as well. Get the sauce all over the mushrooms. You don't have to put mushrooms in if you don't like mushrooms, guys. Use something else. Sugar snap peas, corn. You could even do this as a vegetarian curry dish. Take your pick. But this is what I'm doing, and this is what I enjoy doing. So, prawns in, mushrooms in, ginger in, paprika in, curry powder in, chopped tomatoes in, honey in, mushrooms in, rice on. I say the rice is probably going to take the longest out of it all. That's coming away nicely now. When the water's probably 90% down, I'll cover that over with a lid. Okay, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now with this curry. I'm going to leave it on a low heat, I'm going to cover it over and cover over the rice. And then that should be done in about 15 minutes. So that's covered over. And my rice is going to be covered over. Okay. I'm going to turn those off now. That should just cook nicely through. And then at the end, just to heat it up, because I do like that food nice and hot, I'll give it a little bit of a blast at the end. Okay? I'll pick this through, guys. Enjoy. So that's been simmering away now for about 10 minutes on a very low heat. I just kept coming to check it, stirring it around, checking on the mushrooms, checking they're done. Rice, I turned it back on for a couple of minutes just to get rid of the last bit of water, left it covered, and then turned it off and let it steam. So I'm very happy now, I'm 99% there. I'm just going to add one last little touch now. So I'm just going to add a drop of Greek style yogurt. That's on your menu as well. Should have purchased that. And then that will just give it a nice little bit of colour. We've just toned it down a little bit. So it'll just add a nice lighter colour and take a little bit of that heat away if it is too hot. Okay, if it is even hotter for you guys, if you're going to be over the top, you can add that little bit of sugar to make it sweeter. But that should be absolutely brilliant now. I've prepared what I'm going to have for lunches and breakfast tomorrow, so I know exactly what I'm eating, all 3 meals. Okay, I hope you got on alright with that. I'll take a photo of the finished meal. Enjoy.